So I'm moving to a different light because obviously it has gotten really dark outside very fast and we can't have that. So you need to be able to see. But like, should I put this? I like natural light. I can't stand all these LED lights. I don't even know if they're good for you. I mean, they can't possibly be good for you because they're artificial, but anyways, we don't have to get all in that deep stuff. Not everybody can handle that, you know what I'm saying? So we've got that light on. Maybe no, I want to sit here. I don't know how to feel. I feel wrong. My skin looks fine. It looks fine. I don't know why I'm talking about myself like that. Self-love, you know? So this is the third video that I'm making. I'm going to be sharing a poem from my youth that I have not revisited in a long time. There's a draft that I found from a while ago. I don't know what the date is, but I know that it's really old because I do not remember writing this at all. There's no title. It says, "There's an island in the water where I've been watching birds. They pass me by and sail the wind. As the oceans climb..." We're gonna start over. "There's an island in the water where I've been watching birds. They pass me by and sail the wind. As the ocean climbs the sand and touches my feet, I drink wine in isolation and defeat. I put myself here. I can go nowhere else, and nobody is near but the tree behind my back. It has no words to say, but it listens anyway. How funny is that? I'm a lonely loner and I've got nowhere else to go, so this lonely island I'll stay and make it into a home. I don't know what else to say, but I'm drinking all alone." That's just shite. I don't like that one at all. I don't like that one at all. We're gonna choose a different one. "The man who sat on his hands." This one I never finished. I do remember this one though, but I did write it like about 2 years ago, maybe 3. It wasn't that long ago. I'm only 21. I'm 22, bruh. I'm 22. I'm gonna be 23 this year. This shows you that age is stupid. Numbers. They don't make any sense. This one is a draft called "The Man Who Sat on His Hands." "Look at the man with the hat on. He's damned 'cause he sat on his hands to refrain from the pleasure he wanted. He thought of the woman who's glued to her husband, doesn't know that she's human, yet she aches for her freedom from bondage. Look at the kid. His mind is so big, but his parents refuse to see that his passion is honest. Look at the frog who sat on a log, watching them all suffocate, and all it could do was be astonished. Everyone's aching for something. Everyone's crying for something. Everyone's dying for something that's outside of what they believe. Fragile are those who had taken the beauty from those who had mistaken themselves for why they'd been shaken from the path that set them free." That one needs a lot of work. It felt like a spoken word in the beginning, which I'm probably was little Alana's intention. I'm saying little like she was that young. It's only been like 7 years. We're gonna choose another one. Probably one more. So this is an essay, question mark? Yeah, 2 a.m. thoughts. I was up till 2 a.m. Girl, you had homework to do. Why were you up that late? 2 a.m. Homework at 2 a.m. That doesn't make any sense. I take that back. This is an essay, and it's titled just 2 a.m. thoughts. That's it. "It's crazy how we must modify ourselves to survive in space. That we cannot enter other planets besides Mars. That we belong solely to Earth, and yet we are not allowed too far beneath its skin. If we jump into its pores alive, we must come out, like acne that doesn't belong. If we stay for too long, we change. We become solid and stuck, too deep to retrieve. It's quite annoying for the world, but it can handle us." Can it though? I like to believe that Earth, this is me outside of the poem speaking, I like to believe that Earth can rejuvenate herself as many times as she needs to, but then again, we don't know. And every single thing that humanity is doing is trying that ability for her ability to rejuvenate and restore herself, which is really frustrating to watch. Even when you do, whoever you are in this world, everything that you can in the circumstances that you're in to try and help, it still seems not to be enough because there's constantly evil forces that are, I don't want to say stronger, but they have more of a will driven by money and greed, which if there's more people participating in that system, then there are people working to fight against it, then it's going to be overpowered, and that's just unfortunate. But I say that all to say, never stop fighting. And that's my motto for life, period. Whatever you do, I'm going to keep reading this. Unfortunately, we cannot handle it, so we'll surely be destroyed. We started as floating debris on the surface of its frame and accumulated into grime underneath. The harder we become, the harder it will be to extract us. We must stay out. We do not belong beneath the ground alive, nor outside of the atmosphere. We can only go as far above and below as the world will allow us before our bodies become homesick. At some point, we must realize we've gone too far. At some point, our bodies will realize when we must return. This is our home. But even in a home, there are places we should not go. The ocean won't let us deep enough to see its heart, nor the earth its core, along with mountains and their volcanoes. Why do we feel nauseous on the edge of a cliff? Because we have seen what birds see, and we're only one step away from testing their wings. But we do not have wings ourselves, nor can we summon the might of a bird outside of a flying machine. Deep inside, we know we only shall fall, which is why most of us never take the step. Okay? Because that is not where we belong. We belong here, amongst the things that walk and crawl and feed from what lives and grows on the surface. Our curiosity has led us farther, and there is a problem with that. Curiosity is a natural feeling, but we must be as disciplined as the creatures we live alongside, enough to realize when we've gone too far. Only then will we learn to appreciate where we are. Okay, young Alana, okay, 16. So what I got from that, looking back on what I wrote all those years ago, which is not that long ago, let me stop. I often think about why we feel the need to leave Earth, why we feel the need to build these machines up into space and study all this astro doohickey, which is not something that I dislike. I actually love the cosmos. I love studying all those kinds of things because they're just fascinating. But the fact that a lot of the people with a lot of money who could be helping filter that back into protecting Earth and protecting people and rebuilding and restabilizing our communities, there's a lot of homeless people in the US and beyond. Doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of people who have money who can help that. Obviously, but they're too busy building rockets to whoever, trying to find Andromeda. Come on now. Seriously? That's pointless. Literally. Pointless. The literacy rate is in the ground, but people don't care. And to many extents, I am also part of that problem. I'm not even going to fret. I sit and I think about all of the distractions that we focus on. Every single person in this world. All of the distractions that we focus on, save for the people who are still operating very closely to their ancient traditions, much like indigenous tribes all across the globe, who are still operating at the pace of Earth and taking care of her as they have been for thousands of years. And then there's us. And we care about all these houses and cars and finances and da 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 da, which, yes, because of the way that we've set up our worlds now, like the US being very capitalistic, people having to work all the time to make money to survive, that is what we focus on. We're so catered towards getting the big thing and making it big. It's so pathetic. Like, I just think about it and I'm just like, this is so pathetic. What are we doing? What is this? All these name brands that are exploiting, again, indigenous cultures across the globe. I'm talking here, I'm talking South America, I'm talking Africa, I'm talking the islands, I'm talking islands out in islands out east like New Zealand and what's the other one called? I keep forgetting. New Zealand and who? Bro, this is so dumb. What? I have to remember. New Zealand and Australia. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, that was kind of embarrassing. But in Asia, everywhere, indigenous people all across the globe are being exploited by these big name brands that are just. Oh my god, don't get me started. That's a whole other topic. I could really talk about that forever. Everything, really just everything that we have built up in this modern world to make sense for our modern world, it goes against everything ancient and traditional and more important and more valuable and holistic, and it's just ridiculous. And as we see, health is failing, education is failing. A lot of businesses who are catered towards holistic health and fixing education, they're not failing per se, but they're struggling because they can't get enough funding, they can't get enough support. People don't really care about those things anymore. And when I say that, I mean there's still a lot of people who do care and are still very much trying to keep those things alive, but in a system where everybody is so focused on building. It's so hard to talk about because I don't want to say that making people feel bad for wanting to build generational wealth, but I'm just saying it's ridiculous that we have to think about that. However, we know where we are. This is the U.S. This is the world. This is, what do they call it? A global. I would just like to call it a global capitalist society because it's all capitalism at the end of the day. It's all catered on, or not catered on, fed on money and buying and, supply and demand. It's all of that, and it's getting worse, and that's very disheartening because we're leaving a lot of people behind, a lot of very important people, most importantly our children. And it's just, ugh. I don't know how I got here. Yes, I do. We were reading that prompt, and how people want to leave Earth when we've got so many issues on Earth that we need to solve. And the rest, you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna film my next video now. Let me know what y'all think, or if you have any thoughts, please share them. I love to hear what you guys have to say, even if it's in rebuttal to what I've got to say. I will take it. I'm not a booty, I'm not a booty. That's so weird. But anyways, I said what I said. And that's all. Goodbye.